Alright, cool. So spawning in the top left-hand corner of Belshire Vestige, a veteran not playing his weakness in the PvP right now. Can he advance to the round of 8? It is C-Mac.
His opponent, the newcomer, a bronze player, a little maybe, not sure exactly how he's going to be doing in this matchup right now, but he's a yellow Zerg player. He's key. Does he have the key to victory?
I don't know, man. We'll have to find out.
How many different
Maybe he'll have
puns
to
can we
use
make
his
off his
key
name?
blade. So, with the pile on the main, I think C-Mac will be going for a gateway first sort of play. And as far as key here, he should say, okay, well, if a probe comes to my base around 14 supply, I will go for pool first, and if not, I will go for hatch first. So, he actually is going to be drone scouting. Against Protoss, you can actually just tell, especially on two-player maps, you send it to the ramp, and by the time your Overlord gets there, if there's nothing here, you take gas, because it's a gateway play. Or it's a forge in main. But no one does forge in main at these levels. And if there's a probe hitting your base around 14 supply, you build a pool first, because usually that means that they're going for a forge first play. This is a gateway first play, so that's not really that bad. But otherwise, if there's no probe, then you go for a hatch first. And actually, Key will be going for the hatch first anyway, just going to see if he can get away with it. So, and he actually confirms that with the drone scout, so pretty safe there. And C-Mac just going for his normal build. We'll have to wait till the 7A score is done. These openings are pretty well thought out. And with the gateway spotted and clicked on, we should be seeing gas go down before the spawning pool.
No, I think he covered it all pretty well there, actually.
I don't know.
You just kind of took it away and you went with it.
I play Zerg, man.
You know. He knows.
I do know. Funny thing is, this drone, also, you're kind of like obligated to try to harass a little bit with it because you're losing the 40 minerals a minute. C-Mac, just going to confirm that there's another base. So this is interesting. Normally the best counter to a gateway play is to go hatch a gas pool and then pull off gas at 100 so that you can get the 100 gas for speed. If you just confirm later with the Overlord by not drone scouting, you can just take the gas around this normal time that Key is doing right now and it's fine. But interesting that he doesn't go for that play. Because then you have speedlings out about a minute, about like 40 seconds before you normally would, which shuts down a lot of pushes because they can't get a proxy pylon up against that. But regardless, it's going to be working out as well. C-Mac's Nexus goes down, and now we have some downtime. So
He really puts out 2 queens and not... Oh, just never mind. There's the Zerglings. I felt like he wasn't going to put them out for a second. It would have been very interesting to me. Not to have any really early Zerglings for any kind of map control or scouting. For some reason I felt in my heart of hearts that he wasn't going to do it. Did he prove me wrong?
I'm always here to prove you wrong. But it's not that difficult because you are you. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So 4 lings coming out. The reason that there are 4 lings instead of 2 is in case there's a zealot out on the watchtower. You need 4 lings to take care of that. So that's why that is. And Key has pulled off of gas, so it should be minerals, 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 minerals from here on out. Mothership core is going to be the only thing that's going to be able to take map control away from Key at this point. And Key going to be scouting up, see what's going on at this wall, sees the pylon, sees the mothership core. Going to try to get in the main base, but not going to be successful.
Very unfortunate. I always like to get those things in.
Oh wait, never mind. They were successful.
Oh, what are they about to say?
Yeah. Well, see the next part of the pylon. This is the thing with you do with these lings, is you scout to see where their pylons are, because right now they can only have 3 pylons. So they have to put their tech in one of those places. So he knows that whenever he sends his Overlord, if he sends it in this direction, like here, he's going to be able to see whatever tech he puts on, and the Zerglings are going to be able to scout the front. So, good decision from Key there. 4 queens up as well, so the creep's ready to be looking pretty good. This is like a ZBT style build, and the 3rd base going down about 8 supply early. This is a thing I don't like about putting this hatchery here before 40 supply or so, is because you have a lot of larvae to spend on drones, and spending that money on the drones is going to help you more than getting that earlier hatchery. So, that's my take on that. And there is a Stargate coming up instead of a Forge or anything like that, so C-Mac going to be looking to take some air superiority in some way.
I feel like he got up to this 4 queen because he was feeling really worried that he was going to get some early aggression for one reason or another. And he will be able to just back it up with the creep though, and injects will be fine. That's I feel like a bit of extra mineral spent that I could have been on drones if he hadn't been so
And he spent it on Lings though,
skittish.
and this early push is going to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Bam! Hi, Stalkers. Yeah. The military corps is going to be able to eventually clean this up, but there's no aggression coming from that tank. And C-Mac is not microing his heart out, but Pylon's going to go down, Zealot's going to go down. So, this third base gets to stay up.
Good reaction from Key, and a good move out from him as well. And now he's just really projected this probe will sit here and watch this third base work for a little while. So he's really happy. He's getting an extra paycheck today.
This long distance drones mining gas kind of sucks. Sometimes when you do this, you gotta shift queue them to go like to this location, then mine gas so that they go on the other side of the spawning pool. So.
Now part 2 of this push is going to be coming in. Another pylon even really close to the third base as well. And Zealots are going to be
Queens are really out of position right now, and these Zealots can take on these Zerglings if the Queens don't reinforce. He actually has a worker deficit right now, and he's just going to let this third base go. I was very surprised by that. Oracle coming out, by the way. A couple Roaches coming out, some Lings as well, +1 attack, but at this point, it just seems like he is not really... I don't know, like, if you have extra Queens, keep them by your third, so that, because that's going to be a Protoss' point eventually. The points of these pushes are only to kill your third, because we know that on even economy, Protoss beats third. That's just the way it works out. And the Oracle is spotted, but it's just interesting that Key would choose to not have his positions near third.
Yeah, he seemed just a bit distracted by that. He wanted to get that creep split up and all the little mechanic things he wanted to have refined. He just kind of let the third slip out of his mind. Oracle is on the way, and with 4 Queens sitting around, he should be able to defend this pretty easily. The Oracle won't be doing the most of the damage. They'll just be around being annoying, clearing up creep tumors.
Yeah, really good to use that for the detection. He knows he's probably not going to get in the main or anything, so he's just going to clean up that creep using Revelation. Very good play from C-Mac. Well, actually, yeah, Oracle's just still attacking.
Ooh, look at him go.
Look at it go, said the Witch Doctor from Dota 2.
Roaches are out now as well, though, so it will be even harder for C-Mac to really just try and break forward if he wanted to. Queen's out of position here. That's not a really good thing to lose at all.
And there's the second Oracle. These Oracles can fight now.
Not enough up. With their new speed, they can be super effective when they get the large numbers. And lost 2 Queens out there, and it's now going to throw out some Zealots and Roaches to see if they can defend. But these air units are up in the air.
Wow, that's the best analysis I've ever heard from you.
These are units, and they do things. Some of them do other things than others.
Man, so I was playing StarCraft with a lady friend, and she was like, "I'm really bad. Just don't laugh at how bad I am." And I didn't believe her, but she was right. And she would do things like, she wouldn't be able to call things by their name. She'd be like, "I have the assassin." I'm like, "What's an assassin?" She's like, "The one that goes pew, pew, pew." She meant a ghost.
Yeah. Close enough.
I don't know. It was just it's funny what people that don't play the game that much call units. It was fine. Because she has a brand new account, so we were playing against people that I could 1v2 most of the time, so that it ended up working out, but a lot of funny names were given to certain units. So, at this point, C-Mac is establishing his third. He's ahead in units lost. 10 more drones on the way. I do like that Key is making drones instead of trying to reinforce this push. These are slow Roaches and slow Hydras, by the way. So it's going to be really difficult for them to get into this third base area, unless C-Mac conveniently happens to move out, but there's going to be a recall available. And I think that just these units are going to force Key to come back more than it forces C-Mac to come back.
Wardway also now in the mix as well, and more on the way too. So this army is going to get very scary very fast. It's going to be very hard for Key to deal with.
Yep, more creep cleaning being done, and there should be a recall. I hope there's a recall. There really should be a recall. There's no recall. Alright, that's fine. Zealot's going to be coming in without charge. They get to just run in and die. The Zealots are pretty useless without charge most of the time. And Oracle's going to be able to take down these Hydras very easily. Hydras are the light units, so they are going to take that extra damage. And it's ultimately going to be cleaned up, and I think that C-Mac is pulling way ahead, but look at this early hive. I think this is going to be Ling Ultra. But he's not going to be able to support that off of only 50 drones.
Definitely gonna need to expand a little more, get this third base saturated, get more gases up. He's really gonna need to push up his macro a bit to get that. And it will take him just about a minute or two to be up there.
Yeah, I mean,
time where he
you can
needs to
go
be
late
defended.
ultra off of 3 bases pretty easily, but
You
thing
need the
is-
third one saturated.
yeah, he's really only on like 2.5 right now. Plus, he doesn't have too much of a way to deal with these Void Rays. He is making Hydras, but once the Zealots have charge, which is on the way, by the way, the Hydras become pretty useless. For the most part.
Just about. Listen, you can really get him behind that wall of roaches, but he doesn't really have that wall of roaches yet. Now, Templar Archives is going to be finishing as well, so we will have Templar coming out.
Alright, like he just like sat there staring at this pylon for so long that I was like, go kill that, please. Oh my gosh.
Maybe I shouldn't kill it. Maybe I'll let him think I don't know it's there.
Look at
And
the
then
production
he'll warp
count.
in things.
Triple Robo. This is so funny. I mean, not to mention he could just make like 6 Archon or 4 Archons right now and then just go win. Because Archons are so underrated in this macro. They do bonus damage to everything Zerg has. Everything. Even buildings. It's awful. And they one-shot things, and they do really well against Hydras because Hydras have low health and high DPS. But Archons are tanky and high DPS. And they do splash damage. So, sucks to be Zerg. Here's a Queen that's gonna get to die. Bye-bye, Queen.
Yeah. So much energy.
So much death.
Yeah, mostly death.
Ultra Cavern is on the way, so it was a Ling Ultra.
Fun. And 2 Archons are now with this force as well as a Templar, which it does now have Storm. Well, in 10 seconds he will.
Something like
He
that.
wants that big
is
storm.
researched.
Yes, just finishing.
Fleet Beacon. So C-Mac right now is just buying everything at the store. He's the person that says, oh, I just got a lot of money because of my advantage. He is pretty behind on probes, but as far as where he could be. But right now he's just taking the shopping cart and running down the shelf with his arm on it, just funneling everything in. By getting the Fleet Beacon, by getting the Colossus Bay, by getting... Well, that's
I'll
it.
have one
The Templar Archives.
of everything.
He doesn't have a Dark Shrine, though. That's what he's missing. So, there's going to be a massive counterattack here, and I think that C-Mac will need to recall. Because that's quite a big army.
Yeah. Gonna float right into the third base and start taking that out. And there's the recall right now. It's gonna land right on top of him. And gateways will start to fall, but now then the Void Rays are gonna just start doing a lot of damage. They'll hitting those are gonna be in a pretty good position, not letting them get surrounded on, but now the army of Key is moving forward. With so many Archons. Void Rays do
One of the
go
Archons
down.
is stuck. One of the Archons got stuck by the recall.
That's unfortunate. And now one will go down, and this army will continue to push forward.
But
One
here
Void Ray
comes
stuff and
recall.
Colossus are now up, and here that will push this force back right quick.
All of a sudden, Colossus. Gonna be able to push that back. C-Mac maintains the supply lead. That's mostly in probe. There are still Zealots wrecking havoc to this third base, and this fourth base is not going to be long for this world either. And Key has just not been able to mine from his base. He also doesn't have speed on these Roaches or Hydras yet. Look how easily Zealots chase him down, even without charge.
And he will, of course, just turn around and see if he can get any kind of kills out of that. Unfortunate attack for Key. Started out pretty well, and even had a good engagement at the beginning, but then Colossus came out and just wrecked the rest of his army. And just the lack of upgrades came back to bite him.
Well, I mean, C-Mac is only on 1-1. Excuse me. And he's only on +1 shields, knowing he's going to be Archon heavy. And he is on 2-2. But what is his answer to these Colossus? Like, look at this. These are Colossus without even any, like, unit support, which is supposed to be awful. Like, this is a bad trade for C-Mac. He shouldn't have done this. But still, come on.
Ultras are now out as well. 3 more on the way, going to be joining this army. And that can do a bit of damage to the ground force, but still the air will sit down and just drill away at them happily all day.
Well, this Colossus
And
can go
that's
down.
just...
Kind of a mistake there by C-Mac.
One of those, it's Colossus wants,
I don't think
this
it
Colossus
will.
wants to live.
Oh, 1 HP!
It's that Colossus.
That Colossus, 13 kill, 1 HP Colossus.
No, stay up there, Colossus. Don't walk back down.
Colossus, you're drunk. Go get your shields back.
Terrifying.
More zealots into the third base as well. C-Mac doing so well with this multitasking. Having zealots everywhere, he just cannot take the fights that he wants. And there needs to be a warp prism to pick up this poor Archon.
Oh, is he still there?
Yeah.
Just sad.
Pretty much. There's no warp prism on the map, but at the same time, 38 harvesters to 70, 18 workers killed, units lost, way in C-Mac's favor. Not by as much as you would think, though. Not by as much as you would think. And at the same time, just this fourth and third base are not going to stay up. And in a war of attrition, the Protoss is going to be very powerful. A couple of Immortals are on the way, as long as... Okay, Key... Alright, don't take a bad fight, C-Mac. Taking a bad fight against Ultras is pretty easy. As fourth base does go down. There is a Warp Prism. Going to be able to reinforce. Still hasn't picked up the Archon, unfortunately.
Lost his shields and now backs. He still has 1 HP, but he has 150 shields.
That's true.
I'm going to be watching him. I'll be sad when he dies. He fought so hard.
I won't be sad because he's a Colossus.
And now he's going to run into 5 Ultralists here and realize that's a lot of Ultralists. That's a lot of splash damage.
Achoo! I'll tell you why the engagement is happening now. C-Mac is going to be trying to engage with this Colossus. The Ultras attacking the rocks, but a couple of rallying Immortals doing a great job. The 1 HP Colossus does go down. Ultras are going to be able to fight these Immortals head on if there is no gateway unit support, but the Colossus turn around. They're able to take that out. The superior upgrades doing a great job. The 3 Colossi still alive. His third base is not going to stay up. And now he is on a 1-base economy right now against a 3-base Protoss, making 2 mutas. How long are those going to last? But that's it. Good game.